and you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Good evening, I'm Evelyn Matthew. There's plenty making the news tonight on NDTV Hindu, including the news of an LTTE militant who has been arrested by the Q branch right here in Chennai. We'll get to all of that in just a bit, but first let's bring you the headlines. All airports in the country on a high alert after information of a possible terror strike. Passengers entering Tamil Nadu from Kerala will be screened after an outbreak of the H1N1 virus across the state border. The Madras High Court asked the Tamil Nadu police to explain why they detained suspects for a long period without charges in the Villipuram truck blast case. After an engineering student took her life for being shot on camera, Anna University's Vice-Chancellor clarifies he wanted cameras only during exams. Your address may soon change. 50 roads in Chennai named after foreigners will soon be replaced by those of Tamil scholars.
Names like these that bear foreigners' name will now be renamed after Tamil poets and scholars.
Virinder Sehwag shines with the ball as India bundles out the Bangla boys who were 167 at the Asia Cup. In Chennai's Little Brazil, young footballers make the most of the FIFA fever. It's not just Vikram and Surya. Trisha makes her debut in Bollywood opposite comedy king Akshay Kumar. And NDTV Hindu is now the most preferred news channel in Chennai, a step away from being numero uno. The Bureau of Civil Aviation Security has issued an alert to all major airports in the country for a possible terror strike. And for the latest news, our senior input editor, Saptarshi Bhattacharya, now joins us live over the phone line. Saptarshi, what's the situation at the Anna International Airport at least?
Well, Evelyn, security, as we know, as you have just said, has been tightened. And this is as a result of an alert that has been sounded by the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, which is the apex security agency that that's involved with security in airports. And this particular alert has been sounded all across India, and we are given to understand that there are some specific intelligence reports that have been received. And this alert was sounded on the 14th of June, which means just about 2 days ago. And for the last 2 days, the Anna International Airport and the Kamraj Domestic Airport here in Chennai, the security has been tightened. In fact, normally the airport here in Chennai, both the international and the domestic airports have a 3-tier security, but this time around, in addition to that, there were several officers of the security agencies, the CISF and the local police, who have been put on surveillance in Mufti. Now, they would be keeping a watch on the movements of the passengers within the tarmac and also outside, which is in the car park and the posh areas. Now, that is being done basically so as not to cause any inconvenience to the people who are traveling, who are taking a flight out of Chennai or coming into Chennai. Now, by and large, that has been the plan, and the airport officials did mention to us that this is a kind of security alert that comes in on and off, and the BCA is, based on intelligence inputs, do send in these kind of alerts. It's a general alert all across airports in India, and this particular surveillance would, or rather heightened security status, would actually continue till the BCA is, in fact, sent across another circular saying that yes, the alert can now be lifted. Evelyn.
All right, Rishi, but what some viewers who might be headed to the airport in the next few days would want to know is whether visitors are really allowed near the arrival and departure areas, or do they have to stay right at the entrance itself?
Well, there has been no change whatsoever as of now, as I'm given to understand. But the visitors into the tarmac, yes, there has been a restriction. So that every time there is an alert sounded by the BCAs, the airports all across India, they kind of restrict the entry of visitors into the tarmac because it gives them that amount of extra surveillance, I would say, capacity, or they'll have to hold surveillance over fewer number of people if there were no visitors inside the tarmac. Now, that's one thing that they do as a matter of routine procedure. Right. And apart from that, my understanding is that the officials have very clearly said if the passengers come in a little ahead of time, right, then perhaps, going through the security checks would, it will be perfectly feasible for them to perhaps go through all the security checks and board the aircraft on time.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Rishi, for joining us with those details. So clearly things are under control, but be a little early if you're headed to the airport sometime tonight. Now, the Madras High Court has wrapped the Tamil Nadu police for detaining 10 people in connection with the Villupuram blast case without pressing charges. After a habeas corpus petition came up for hearing, the High Court ruled out that the police had every right to arrest a suspect but could not detain him for so many days without charges. The court has sought a comprehensive report from the police on the investigations to be submitted on Thursday. After the Villupuram rail track blast, the police had detained 10 persons for questioning. The relatives of the detained persons approached the High Court for relief.
Police in Tamil Nadu grappled with a major embarrassment after the Madras High Court wanted to know why it was holding 9 suspects without charges, especially when there was no breakthrough in the investigation. The court said it wants a report from the police by Thursday.
The learned public prosecutor has represented that no case has been made out against them, and that the judges have asked them to ask the public prosecutor to file a detailed report by tomorrow, and the case is coming up for hearing tomorrow.
As the habeas corpus petition was heard at the Madras High Court, simultaneously the Q branch police also conducted searches at the residences of prime suspects in the Villupuram blast case.
Detectives of the Anti-Terrorism Police, or the Q branch, conducted raids in 3 separate locations to find clues and gather evidence. Diaries, letterpads, handbills, rubber stamps and memory sticks were recovered. Separately, NDTV-HINDU spoke to the former leaders of the outlawed Tamil Nadu Liberation Army, who are among the top suspects.
அதேபோல உங்களை விசாரிக்கணும், உங்களை இந்த வழக்கு தொடர்பா விசாரிக்கணும்னா நீங்க அதுக்கும் தயாரா?
ஆமா, இந்த சம்பவம் சம்பந்தமா ஏற்கனவே என்னிட்ட கியூ பிரான்ச் அதிகாரிங்க விசாரிச்சிருக்காங்க. அவங்க கிட்ட நாங்க தெளிவுபடுத்தியிருக்கிறோம். அவங்களும் இதுக்கும் உங்களுக்கு சம்பந்தம் இல்லைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு தெரியும். இருந்தாலும் யார் செஞ்சிருப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு உங்களுக்கு சந்தேகம் இருக்குதான்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. நாங்களும் எங்களுக்கு இது யார் செஞ்சிருப்பாங்க, இது வரைக்கும் தமிழ்நாட்டில் இத மாதிரியான ஒரு மோசமான சம்பவத்தை யாரும் செஞ்சதில்லை, யார் செஞ்சிருப்பாங்கன்னு சொல்லி நாங்களும் தேடிட்டு தான் இருக்கிறோம். அடுத்து விசாரணைக்கு எப்போ கூப்பிட்டாலும் நாங்கள் அதை எதிர்கொள்றதுக்கு தயாராக தான் இருக்கிறோம். எங்கள் மேலே எந்த குற்றமும் இல்லாதனால நாங்கள் வெளிப்படையாகவும் தைரியமாகவும் அந்த விஷயங்களை எதிர்கொள்றதுக்கு இருந்துகிட்டு இருக்கிறோம் எப்போதுமே.
As the Madras High Court puts the responsibility on the police to explain its methods of investigation in the case, it's now up to the police to justify the detention of the 9 suspects. With Gopinath and Shabir Ahmed, Jason Tosh for NDTV Hindu.
And in news that we just have received, an LTTE militant has been arrested by the Q branch in Chennai. He is wanted in smuggling cases by the police. He will be remanded tomorrow. Now, the swine flu scare seems to be back, not for Tamil Nadu at least just yet, but for neighbouring Kerala. So, for the health authorities here are taking no chances at all. And senior correspondent with NDTV 24/7, Sam Daniel, joined us with the latest update. Here's what he had to say.
Authorities tell us very clearly there's no need for any panic because it's only a precautionary step after neighbouring Kerala witnessed swine flu casualty and also Maharashtra. What they're going to do now is to set up camps, medical camps all along the Tamil Nadu-Kerala border, particularly in districts like Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli and Coimbatore, from where a large number of people travel on the road into Tamil Nadu. They'll be screened, and those who have symptoms of swine flu will be sent to the nearest government hospital so that they can be treated there. The government has also released a list of authorized laboratories across Tamil Nadu where people can go for a quick checkup if they have any symptoms, and all the private hospitals have been advised to immediately report any cases of symptoms of swine flu. And authorities once again underline the fact that even last year, Tamil Nadu accounted only for 11 casualties on account of swine flu. So they've tackled it quite well, and this year again, it's only a preventive and precautionary step.
Well, in case there's still a sense of worry in your mind and you want to get yourself tested, let's bring you a list of laboratories authorized by the Tamil Nadu government to test H1N1 samples. Some of the places you can drop in at in the city are Bharat Scans in Roypeta, the high-tech diagnostic center in T Nagar, the diagnostic service on Burkit Road, and the Lister Metropolis in Chennai. Some of the other labs in the state that you can approach are also up on your screens right now. Well, no more candid shots while in class. 30 days back, a student took this to heart and changed things forever. The Anna University has now warned colleges under its control not to ever use security camera footage to harass their students.
The warning from the Vice-Chancellor of Anna University, Professor Mannar Jawahar, comes after a first-year engineering student committed suicide last month. The girl was reportedly harassed by the college during disciplinary measures after a surveillance camera footage showed her kissing a boy in her college.
Anna University has installed 70 CCTV cameras throughout its campus at a cost of 30 lakh rupees. But the Vice-Chancellor says it is just to monitor theft and malpractices in examination and strictly nothing else.
172 engineering colleges are affiliated to Anna University. Of these, about 50 colleges are under electronic surveillance. Vice-Chancellor Jawahar has warned colleges not to misinterpret the purpose of these security cameras.
See, for good purpose, CCTV camera can be fixed, but it should not be used as for other purpose.
3 weeks have gone by since Anitra died after hanging from a fan. The Vice-Chancellor said he has still not received an explanation from SMK Formra Institute of Technology over the incident. With Salim, this is Simonish for NDTV Hindu.
And our crime reporter Salim also got us details of what led to the Vice-Chancellor's decision. Here's a detailed list of it.
All the college authorities are well aware that they don't have a second option when the Vice-Chancellor himself has warned them, saying they cannot harass a student anymore with the CCTV camera footage. Sources from Anna University very clearly say that 6 months ago, when the Vice-Chancellor chaired a meeting with the heads of the 172 engineering colleges in Chennai, the chairman of all these colleges requested the Vice-Chancellor that they want an option to install CCTV cameras in their colleges as Anna University did. So then the Vice-Chancellor sent a circular saying that they are free to do so, and only in the examination halls and the entry and exit points of each department if they wish. Now the college defend themselves by saying that Anna University has the luxury of separate examination halls and separate classrooms, whereas they don't.
Well, Salim, they're giving us the latest update. Up ahead, Chennai's pride, its colonial past could well be a thing of the past. Diabetes capital of the country, Chennai should start liking the color brown when it comes to our rice and sugar. That's all coming up in a moment.